Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on the video again. As you probably guessed from the video title, this is going to be my Sweden trip planning insight / gear video. It's currently Monday the 18th of July and the UK is going through quite a severe heat wave at the moment. Up in the north of Scotland it's 28 degrees just now. That's at 7 o'clock in the evening, and we could get up to 30 degrees tomorrow, but down in the south of the UK they're in the high 30s, maybe even hitting 40, which will be record breaking. So it's quite severe. People are struggling. So yeah, if you see me a bit red faced and sweating, then that's why. I just finished moving all my furniture out of the way. I'm trying to find a good space to show you all the gear. I'm just in my living room right now. But yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad. Before I get into everything, I just wanted to say thank you for all the interaction in the last video. That video has pushed the channel over 1,000 subscribers, which I still struggle to believe, if I'm honest, especially in such a short space of time. So yeah, I really appreciate it. All the subscriptions, all the comments, the likes, the shares, the discussion in the comments as well. I really enjoy it, so thank you very much. Just a little update from the last video as well. I'm due to fly to Norway in exactly a week now. Still don't have a passport, so I'm actually making this video in the hope that I'll have a passport for Sweden as well. But at the moment, it's just nothing is guaranteed. I did speak to the passport office, and I've now been put on an expedited service because I travel in less than 2 weeks, and the passport office has failed to supply my passport in the 10-week sort of promised period. But they still couldn't guarantee I would get my passport in time. So I think it's going to come right down to the wire, last minute. But there's nothing more I can do now, so I just have to see if it arrives this week. But yeah, anyway, we'll kick off the video. I'm going to talk about a few things first, just background to the trip and a little bit of an explanation of what it is and where I'm going, and then I'll bring in the kit as I talk about it, and then you can sort of see the kit build and get an idea of the amount of kit and the size of it as we go through the video. Right, so I've gone and got a chair because I've realised I'm at home and I can sit in comfort, so why not? I've set up a little bit of a workstation here. I've got my laptop and my phone with details of the gear just to help me. I've got a few notes written down here as well, so if you see me looking at things, that's all that is. I've got my new external microphone, which I'm testing out in this video, so I might move it around the place, so if the audio gets a little bit weird, that's all I'm doing. So a bit of background about the trip, I suppose, that I went backpacking in Sweden, it'd be 4 years ago now, and it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and went there with a friend, absolutely loved it, and I said, make an effort to try and get back maybe once a year. And I started looking at different trails and areas to go, and I came across the high coast and just immediately fell in love with this area. Just looked amazing. And I follow a few people on Instagram who actually live and work around the area, and I see their photos of it, and it's just making me love the place even more. And I found out that there's the High Coast Trail through the area, and I sort of decided then, I want to do this trail. So I planned to do it in May 2020, and as you all know, 2020 didn't really go to plan. So I had to put this trip on hold, and fast forward to this year, and COVID restrictions easing. I'm not going to say COVID's disappeared because it certainly hasn't, but it's easier to travel again. And yeah, it's been sort of 2.5 years since I've travelled anywhere, and I decided to book this trip in and go and get it done. Right, okay, so I'll start off by talking a little bit about the High Coast area itself, and then some more detail about the trail and my plan for it. If you've watched my videos before, you know I like to ramble, so the reason I've got the computer and notes and things out is so I don't end up spiralling into a 20-minute ramble about every piece of gear. So I'm just going to read it here. The High Coast is a part of the coast of Sweden on the Gulf of Bothnia in the Angermanland, probably said that wrong, province of northeast Sweden. Centred in the area of the municipalities of Kramfors, Härnösand, I can't even say the other one, and I think it's Örnsköldsvik. Again, I've probably said all of those wrong. It is notable as an area for research on post-glacial rebound and eustacy, in which the land rises as the covering glaciers melt, a phenomenon first recognised and studied there. Since the last ice age, the land has risen 300 metres, which accounts for the region's unusually tall cliffs. The High Coast is part of the Swedish-Finnish High Coast Archipelago UNESCO World Heritage Site because of its exceptional geology. So already you can see, it's a pretty fascinating area, and I'll put in some kind of photos and I'll put in links to everything I talk about. But yeah, I encourage you to go and check it out. It just looks like this really kind of rocky, pine heavy ground. It's kind of lumpy, bumpy, and there's kind of lots of inlet, sea inlets and stuff, and it just looks amazing. I really hope I get there. So yeah, the trail itself, it's 130 kilometers, as you can see in the title of the video. So it's not the longest trail, and it's not the most arduous trail. But it's still, a decent amount. And if you really want to hammer the trail, you can do it in kind of 4 or 5 days. But I'm not in any rush. I've got a couple of weeks, so I'm planning for 10 days. I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to enjoy it. There's lots of side trails and different things to see, and I want to give myself time to enjoy that. Instead of just A to B and just killing myself. So as I say, 10 days. I'm going to be there in the last week of August, first week of September. So weather-wise, that's kind of on the cusp between very late summer and sort of early autumn. And obviously it's a higher latitude than here, so things starts to get colder earlier there than it would here. So potentially going to have quite mild days still, maybe mid-teens, but also potentially quite cool nights. Maybe even a slight frost if it gets cold enough, that kind of thing. So that's the sort of weather that I'm preparing for. It's nowhere near as wet as here in general, but of course it still could rain, could have bad weather, so I'm going to prepare for that as well. But I'm not expecting to get wind blasted like I would here in Scotland. Although it is a coastal area, so there is going to be the risk of wind. So yeah, I'm kind of preparing for, I'm kind of taking some lighter stuff for the warmer days, but in the back of my mind it could be quite chilly. I'm making sure I don't get caught out with that. Yeah, so now I'm gonna read from the guidebook itself about the trail. Again, I'll put links to, if you're interested in this, there's a High Coast website, and it has trail guides and maps and a couple other books with information about the high trail, accommodation, everything you can need to know, in several different languages. Obviously I got this in English, so basically, welcome to the High Coast World Heritage Site. The 130 kilometre long High Coast Trail stretches through the entire World Heritage Site that shares its name. Starting in, again, Hornabaget, I know that's not how you say it, in the south, and ending up in Ernsköldsvik in the north. That's the direction I will be doing it in. The trail is divided into 13 sections that are a unique mix of coast and forest, with exciting areas rich in flora and fauna along the way. There are numerous activities, side trails, and unique nature experiences for you to enjoy. Deep forests, high till-capped mountains, rocky shoreline, mountain viewpoints, sandy swimming beaches, and nature reserves. So basically, yeah, what I just said earlier. So yeah, it's a fantastic area. Like I say, I speak to a few people on social media that either live there or have visited there, and they said it's just wonderful. So yeah, I think that's my introductory ramble. So I'll bring you in a little bit closer so you can see the gear, and I'll show you the gear and kind of talk a little bit about my thinking about why I'm taking that, and the decisions behind it. Back on the floor. Disclaimer before we get into this. I'm not saying that this is the lightest kit or the best kit or the most suitable kit for what I'm doing, but it's what I have. It's a mix of gear that I've used over a period of time and works well for me, and some new bits and pieces as well that I've learned from others. Hopefully by doing this, it maybe helps some other people at least think about what to take for something like this, but also I might learn something from people who are watching the videos too. So if you have any suggestions on this, please just drop them in the comments below. In terms of the details of all the gear, I've actually used a website called Lighter Pack, and I'll link that in the description. And it's basically a basic website, but it allows you to fill in a gear list. It's got all the weights. I've put links to most of the bits of gear that I'm taking. A lot of those links are Amazon affiliate links, so if you do fancy some of these things and you buy them by clicking on that link, that feeds a little bit back to the channel, which would be much appreciated. You'll see, I'm going to bring up the website now, and actually it'll help me go through it. It's broken down into sections. You've got a bit of a pie chart there as well, so you can see sort of what percentage of the weight you're carrying is attributed to what. You'll notice in the clothing as well that it's broken down between what you're carrying and what's being worn. So that's a detail to look out for. I'm not carrying like 6 kilos of clothes or whatever. So yeah, a really useful website. I encourage you to use it if you're planning your own trip yourself. But yeah, like I say, link in the description, and you can even open it and look at it as I'm going through all the stuff. So yeah, just going to take it section by section. First section is load carrying. This will be my main rucksack. It's the Osprey ether 70 AG, so it's 70 litres. You've seen it in multiple trips on my channel now. Absolutely love this rucksack. I always say I know it's not the lightest rucksack, but in terms of carrying heavy loads comfortably, it's absolutely fantastic. Then as an extra component, I've got this, it's called a chest pod from OMM. It's got a 4 litre capacity, and it's designed to just clip on to your front basically, and you've got quick access to anything you need quick access to instead of having to take your bag off or go into that thing. So I usually use it on mountain days. I'll keep snacks, phone, map, things like that, and I probably will use this in Sweden for that. I'll probably put the map. I'll probably have my phone too, but the main reason I'm taking this is for the camera. Just having somewhere easy to kind of protect the camera if I need to, but just quick access at any time. Next up is my sleep system. This is probably the biggest, kind of bulkiest item of my whole kit. It's my Snugpak Softy Elite 3. Again, you've seen me use it on various trips. Tried and tested. I love this bag. It's unfortunately synthetic, which means it's quite big, but like I say, it's never let me down, and it's going to be ideal for the temperatures I can potentially face in Sweden. Inside that, I've got my Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner, but I'm kind of second guessing whether I actually need that or not. So I'm not sure if I'll bring that, but I've included it in the list. It's in the sleeping bag in here. And this isn't the original Snugpak bag. This is an event waterproof bag, again from Sea to Summit. And this is brilliant because this is like a breathable membrane, and you can actually compress it quite a bit, and cinch it all down, and you can actually get the bag quite small. So yeah, sleeping bag liner. Sleeping pad is just going to be the Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. Make sure I get that name right. Again, it's just the yellow inflatable mat that you've seen in various videos. Weighs next to nothing. Really comfortable. It's quite an expensive mat if you buy it brand new, but I actually found this second hand on eBay maybe 4 years ago, and it was only £40, and I was a bit skeptical, but it was like brand new when it came, and it hasn't failed me at all. It's been brilliant. So yeah, just a little tip, look out on eBay, because a lot of the people who are buying these mats have quite a bit of money anyway, so they're quite keen to sell an older mat, to buy a newer model. So you can get these ones cheap. So yeah, something to think about. Trickology, just a little inflatable pillow. I normally take a pillowcase and stuff it, but I'm thinking kind of fabric pillowcase, clothes that I've worn 9 to 10 days, that's going to get a little bit smelly and not so nice potentially. So yeah, inflatable pillow. And I've included this in this section just for ease, but it's just a multi-mat sit pad, which is self-explanatory. And that's my sleep system. Next is my shelter system. This was probably, apart from food, this was probably the area that I thought about most. I thought about taking my MSR tent, but it's quite heavy and a lot of unnecessary space, just for me. I thought about buying a new, super lightweight one-man tent, but well, more money, and also I don't know how much I would use it when I came home, because there wouldn't have been space for the dog, that kind of thing. But yeah, then I thought I really enjoy sleeping out under a tarp. I don't know, you just feel like you're part of the environment a bit more, and also the packability of it. I quite like that. So yeah, long story short, I've gone for tarp, a lightweight bivy bag, and I've got a ground mat here. And the reason behind that is it's a very small shelter system. I mean, it packs down to nothing. These separate bits are very packable. You can stuff them in. It's not like one big, bulky tent. But it gives me a lot of flexibility. So last time I was in Sweden, I took a tent, but I was surprised at the amount of wind shelters and open cabins there were, and we actually ended up sleeping in the wind shelters more. Now this is a longer trip, obviously, and I'm not guaranteed to stop at a wind shelter at the end of every night, so I'm not going to rely on that. But it means I'm not taking a big tent that I potentially won't use, but it also gives me the flexibility. Tarp, I can set up any kind of shelter with a tarp. Gives me protection against sun and rain. And then the bivy bag again, if the ground's wet, bivy bag and tarp, I'm sorted really. The ground mat, I'm not entirely sure if I'll take that. It might be a bit overkill. I was just thinking of something to put gear on if the ground's wet, but I think I might just forget that one. But like I say, I've included it here, so I'm talking about it. So anyway, what have I got? This is just the DD ultralight tarp, 3x3 meters. You've seen me use it quite a bit. And in here we've got 4 lightweight pegs, guy lines, and a ridge line with prusik knots already on the ridge line. So it's all kind of set up and good to go. Like I say, small, packable, weighs hardly anything. So yeah, that's my main shelter. This was a new purchase because I don't often get to use a bivy bag because again, I've got the dog to think about, so it's not really something I've got into, but I want to take the opportunity to use one. I'm quite looking forward to using one. And this is the Alpkit Hanka extra large bivy bag. Again, I've tried it out a few times at home. There's loads of space in this thing, but it weighs nothing. Again, small pack size, and protects me, another layer of protection under the tarp from the elements. And like I say, this is just a lightweight mat from my Nature Hike Loadout 2 tent. Weighs hardly anything. I might still take it, but it could be something I could drop quite easily to save a bit of weight. So yeah, that's my quite simple shelter system. But the next section is cooking and water. So I'll start with water. I'm just going to take one 1 litre Nalgene bottle. It's very lightweight. Don't really want to be carrying more than a litre of water at a time. There's water stops on the way. Although, again, when I was in Sweden last time, I was surprised how little available drinking water there actually was. And I think being in the Highlands of Scotland, we're spoilt in a way that you're never too far from a burn or a clean water source. So yeah, last time, on these trails, it actually maps out water collection points, and sometimes that can be like a hand dug well, these kind of things. So yeah, just collecting water on the way. I've studied the route quite a bit, and a lot of the places I'll stop are going to be close to a lake of some kind. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about carrying a huge amount of water at any one time. I will take water treatment tablets with me, and I also have my Catadin 1 litre water filter, which again is lightweight, it's fantastic. Took it last time. Yeah, can't complain. So that's quite straightforward, and I've just got it in a little lightweight pouch to keep it relatively clean from dust and debris. Then cooking. I'll start with the fuel source. I've decided on gas. Again, at a lot of these wind shelters and cabins, there's wood stoves and kind of fire pits, and I might end up using them. That's fine. There's usually a supply of firewood at them. But yeah, for my own sort of cooking source, I've decided on gas. I did think about alcohol, but potentially there's quite a lot of alcohol to take with me, and I was a bit worried that, you know, if I run out, I can't just go and buy some more. So yeah, I'm going to go with one of these big sort of 440 gram gas canisters, which should do me the whole trip, because I'm really only boiling small amounts of water really. And this one is just for show, because I can't travel with the gas canister in my bag, so it's something that I'll have to purchase when I get to Sweden, which shouldn't be a massive deal. And then cook kit. Again, you've seen me use this before. It's just my lightweight titanium kit. So I've got the Tokes 750 with lid and bail handle. I've got the Tokes 550 bowl. I've got titanium spork, and then in here I've just got just a cloth, a couple of lighters, and the coffee press, which again I might not bother to take, but it's in there for the moment. And my stove is just going to be the lightweight MSR Pocket Rocket 2. Right, the next section is tools, and again, as you can see, I'm going very lightweight and simple. Although I'm going to Sweden and I'm going to be in an amazing environment, and it's going to be, it's tempting to go full on bushcraft mode with axes and all that kind of stuff. It's just that kind of kit's too heavy for what I actually want to achieve. So I've basically got a pair of lightweight leather gloves, self-explanatory. Like I say, I may end up dealing with hot cookware around a fire, that kind of thing. So I've got gloves with me. I've got just a small pocket saw. This is the Silky Pocket Boy. Again, just in case, I might need to cut up small kindling, that kind of thing, to get the fire going with the bigger pieces. So taking that. Knife. I put a little bit of thought into this as well, because I was tempted to take my bigger TBS bore knife. It's quite hefty for what I need it for. Then I thought about taking my little Wolverine folding knife, but if I do need to batten down any wood, the folding knife's not great, because as soon as you start to batten on it, the back of your hand hits the release and the knife just closes. So I've gone with my old Hiltifor's, is it? OK4 it's called. I've had this for years. It's been absolutely hammered. It's easy to keep sharp. I took it to Canada for 3 weeks and really just put it through hell. You know, didn't break, didn't give up, nothing. It's a fantastic knife, really. It's lightweight, like I say. I can batten with it, and it's kind of sharp enough and big enough to do all the things I need to do. So yeah, that's my choice for that. And then I'm just taking a small multi-tool, just in case. It's got a couple of small secondary blades, scissors, pliers, bottle opener, all these kind of things. So yeah, that's just a little extra. And then I've got is it Uncle Bill's tweezers? You know, the really good tweezers that everyone talks about. I've just got that on the keyring with it. And that's basically my tools. Right, next up is electronics, and I've purposely kept this separate from like camera and recording kit. I'll talk about that later. Again, quite simple, not too much to it. I've got my Olight, is it H1 I think it's called. Where are we? Yeah, H1 Nova, little lightweight head torch, absolutely brilliant. Had it for a few years now. I got the rechargeable option as well, and I'll take the cable, so it's just got a USB charger for it that sits on the end. But the battery life in this thing's fantastic, and I've never really had to do it whilst out on a trip. With this longer trip I might end up having to, but yeah, that's the head torch. In my last video I talked about the solar panel. This was a new purchase, and again, instead of taking multiple kind of heavy battery packs, you know, I'm going to use this as much as possible. Again, all the links and details are on the Lighter Pack website, so don't worry about all that. Just a is it 20,000 milliamp battery pack from Anker. It's got can never remember, is it USB-C and like the older charger style and the new charger style if you've got different types of devices. And it's also got 2 USB charging ports as well, so you can charge 2 devices at the same time. And yeah, the idea is to top up this with the solar panel through the day and then charge devices from this. And then lastly, I've just included again, this was in my last video, just a little micro USB pump for pumping up the airbed to try and reduce the amount of moisture inside it from blowing in. And that is electronics. Okay, this one just my kind of possibles pouch. Again, just a small lightweight pouch with some things I might need. What have we got in here? Compass, some paracord and carabiner, extra bank line, some Gorilla tape, a wee keyring with a thermometer on it, just to see what temperature it is. We've got some zip ties, some matches just in case. I've got my DC4 sharpener. What else? We've got a whistle, and then I've got pocket bellows for fire, and then just a little Ziploc bag. I have a European charger because I will be passing places where potentially I can plug into the mains to charge things. It's got 2 USBs so I can charge 2 devices. I've got the lead for charging the headlamp. And then I've just got a small sort of puncture repair kit for my sleeping pad and tarp, and a little sewing kit as well, just with thread, some safety pins, needles, that kind of thing, and a couple of extra buttons too. I think that's it. The next section, and I apologise if I'm maybe rattling through this a little bit too quickly, but I don't want it to turn into too long a video and get bogged down in the detail. Like I say, I've got the lighter pack link, so if you really want to look into the gear and the weights and all that kind of stuff, you know, it's all there. I just wanted to give people an idea of what I'm taking and, you know, some of the things I'm thinking about when I'm choosing things. So toiletries and first aid. Just a ziplock of toilet paper, straightforward enough. A small packet of like fresh wipes, because, you know, 10 days is a long time. There could be some mosquitoes and things about still, so I'm going to take my insect sort of head net. This is quite a cool wee thing. It's called a Trekmate's kitchen sink, and it's just as you probably guessed. It's just a lightweight fabric sink basically, or basin. Weighs hardly anything, but you know, you get a 5 litre container, and it's quite handy if you need to wash a few dishes, or what I'll probably use it more for is I will maybe heat up some water on the fire, and then, you know, good for washing hands, washing your face, that kind of thing. So that's quite a handy wee one. Then I'll probably take some kind of small sun cream just in case, and some kind of bug spray too. First aid kit, again, just a small simple pouch. I usually carry a first aid kit that has a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff, but it can be quite heavy. So thinking about this trip, you know, I'm not using axes or doing any kind of big dangerous stuff like that, so I've sort of taken out the Israeli bandage and all that kind of thing, and I'm focusing more on having bits and pieces that would really help me in a trip like this. So I'm thinking kind of small cuts, you know, infections, cleaning little wounds. So I've got sort of alcohol wipes, plasters, steady strips. I've got a little bottle of sort of antiseptic solution, you know, that kind of thing. I've got a couple of bandages as well, just in case, but yeah, I've tried to make it quite a lightweight first aid kit for this trip. And then toiletries kit itself, I won't bother to take it all out, but I basically got a small toothbrush, a small bottle of hand sanitizer, a small beard comb, because if you have a beard and, you know, after a couple of days of not really getting to have a shower, or, you know, like, you know, it's quite nice to be able to you know, kind of comb it and untangle it a little bit. So yeah, I always take that with me. I've got a little bottle of all-purpose soap. I've got contact lenses as well. I actually wear contact lenses, so I've got them in there, and basically just a small mirror as well, which is also good, you know, if you've got like something in your eye, or, you know, a splint or something, you know, it's just handy to have, and also can act as a signal mirror if you get into that kind of situation. And that's pretty much it. One thing I just thought of is I might end up taking a small sort of microfiber towel, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. But that may be something I add into the kit too. But yeah, that is toiletries and first aid. Clothing, obviously another very important section. Thinking about being quite lightweight for walking, but as I said, the weather can change, and making sure I'm covered for every eventuality. Stopping after a day of hiking, and the temperature drops. It can be quite chilly at night depending on where I am. So I'm not fully decided on my clothing yet, but I've got a rough idea. I'll start with I'll have just a small beanie with me, in case it's chilly. I'll take my waterproofs. These are my Berghaus Deluge kit, very lightweight, very good waterproofs, just in case. In terms of actually walking, I talked a little bit about this in my last video. I'm fairly confident I'm going to be taking the Revolution Race zip-off trousers, because as you can see, that gives me the options of shorts if it's quite warm, but full trousers if it's not. So yeah, taking them. I'm basically going to have 3 very lightweight t-shirts. I'll probably have one for sleeping in, and then I'll probably rotate the other 2. And with it being that very lightweight fabric, I can potentially wash one and kind of dry it and wear the others, and just help me keep relatively clean. So yeah, probably these 3 actually, and this lightweight one I've got on. As another layer, but also relatively cool for walking, I've got the my Kraghopper shirt that I quite like wearing. It can still be quite sunny days as well, and it's good protection from the sun. I'll also be taking a merino wool long sleeve base layer in case it is chilly, again in the evenings, that kind of thing, but still quite lightweight. Socks. I struggle a little bit with socks because I have very sort of warm feet, so my tendency is to not wear big socks, but I don't want any rubbing or that kind of thing, and this is obviously a longer trip. So what I have done is I've got a couple of very lightweight merino wool liner socks, and I'll wear these inside my main socks. I'm going to be wearing one pair of these and also keeping a clean pair for sleeping in, just in case it gets cold. And again, same idea with the t-shirt. I've got 2 pairs of liner socks, and I can kind of wash and dry one and wear the other. Then underwear. These are brand new, so don't worry, they're not dirty. These are the Step 1 sport boxer, and I found out about these recently and I'm actually wearing a pair now. I'm going to take a couple of pairs with me, but they're bamboo, so they share a lot of the same properties as merino wool in terms of smell and not holding on to bacteria, that kind of thing. But again, with my bigger legs, same issue with trousers. Certain underwear, when it's warm or you're walking a long distance, just not comfortable for me. But these are fantastic. I can't recommend them enough, especially if you've got long legs. They're quite long, but they almost well, you don't really feel like you have them on for the start, but yeah, they're almost like a cycling short. They're just so comfortable. They don't ride up your leg. They don't move when you're walking. So, yeah, really pleased with them. I've taken 2 pairs of them. Again, all the links are in the description and the lighter pack link. And then this is the jacket I got from Revolution Race. It's a kind of a soft shell jacket, a bit of a windbreaker, water resistant as well. And I think this is going to be my kind of heavier, warmer layer. Again, it kind of ticks all the boxes. Big hood if the weather comes in, but not too heavy. And it's not a winter jacket in that sense. And I think there's lots of vents on it as well, so if I have to wear it when I'm hiking, it shouldn't be too warm, but it should be warm enough when I'm not, if that makes sense. I think that's it. Clothing wise, like I say, I've got my waterproofs if it gets really wet. I did think about taking my Rab insulated jacket, but I don't think I'll need it because I've got a lot of layers here to use, and just my shelter system and where I could potentially stay, I don't think I'm going to be at risk of being cold and exposed, so I will probably leave the Rab jacket out. But yeah, that is clothing. Like I say, it might change a little bit, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll be taking my infamous hat as well, and what else? Oh, my walking boots, footwear, the most important thing. I will be taking my Mendel Himalaya boots. I wear these all the time. I've had several pairs over the years. I just absolutely love them. The most comfortable boot I've ever worn. Comfortable, straight from new. Don't really have to break them in. Yes, they're a bit bulky and chunky, but they're just so comfortable. I'm going to be walking on potentially quite rocky, steep terrain, and the ankle support on these is absolutely brilliant. It could be wet, it could be cold, so yeah, I just feel what's the word? Almost secure when I've got these on. I feel like I can sort of walk in any terrain on these. So yeah, that's what I'll be taking. I'm not going to take any secondary footwear, I don't think. Again, just trying to save on weight. Even like a lightweight sandal or something, I probably won't wear it, to be honest. Quite happy to sit around barefoot in the evenings and that kind of thing. So yeah, that is my clothing. Yeah, the last section is camera and recording equipment. Now, this is quite new to me. I started doing the YouTube thing back in January, end of January, start of February. It's been a very steep learning curve. I've barely scratched the surface of it, but the kit I've got has been working okay so far. But sort of thinking about kit for a longer trip like this was really new to me, but quite interesting and exciting as well, because I am really keen to record a trip, obviously for people to see, but also for myself. It'd be quite nice to have a nice memory of it all. So it's a little bit difficult because obviously I can't film the camera whilst I'm filming with the camera, but I basically use, again, let me just read it to make sure. It's an Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV, and it's basically is it a 3/4 mirrorless, I think they call it. So it's quite a compact little camera. Shoots in 4K, and it's been pretty good so far. I've got a lightweight carbon fiber tripod that's been really good as well. So yeah, I'll obviously be taking both of those. And obviously I've got I'll try and pick it up without making too much noise, but I've got my external sound recorder now. It'll be interesting to see if there's any difference on this video, although the real test is going to be in windy conditions, obviously. So yeah, I'll be taking that too, but obviously I need to power these things and have we just lost a little bit of light. Have to power these things and have enough space to record things, which so far I've only really recorded a kind of 2.5 day trip. I've got 10 days for this one. So yeah, basically thinking about obviously battery capacity and storage capacity. So for the camera, all my kit kind of fits in this little bag, and the external recorder actually fits in this too. I'll just get some things out here. So I've got 4 batteries in here. I've got a 5th battery that's obviously in the camera. If I'm doing a lot of filming, a battery tends to last 2 days, so that's 10 days hopefully. But I do have the ability to charge these again I've got a little USB charger that can connect to the battery pack or the solar panel. I've also, all these batteries look the same, so I've numbered them 1 to 5 so I can so I know I'm kind of working through them in a logical order, and for charging and that kind of thing, just makes things a bit easier. I've got a small cloth for cleaning, just in case things get wet. And then storage capacity. I got this little SD card container. It's waterproof as well, which is quite good. So I've got what we got? We've got 256 gigabyte memory cards, one 120 gigabyte, one 128, sorry, and then I had a little 32 gigabyte as well. So that should be enough for the whole trip whilst filming in 4K, as long as I'm not taking big, long 10-minute clips. But then of course I've got the external sound recorder now as well, and that takes micro SD cards. So I've got 4 32 gigabyte micro SD cards. 32 gigabyte is the maximum that that'll take at any one time. And to set the audio at a higher quality than the camera, I should get about 40 minutes of continuous audio per card. And I probably won't use the sound recorder all the time. There'll be some shots where sound's not that important, that kind of thing. So should be enough. Should be. But like I say, this is quite a big first test for me. I don't really have a lot of experience on whether this will be enough for what I need it to do, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So that's battery and storage. Then I've just got a small pouch it's got a dead cat cover for when I'm outside. I've got a little bracket for the phone as well, because I'll be using the phone for photos and kind of social media type videos. Some spare batteries for the recorder, and a wee Bluetooth switch as well, some cables and miscellaneous stuff. So again, that sounds like a lot, but still quite small and packable. Obviously the tripod's probably the biggest thing, but it's quite lightweight. So yeah, that's camera and recording equipment, I think. Yeah, I've covered everything. Yeah, so that's kind of it for everything. Yeah, the last thing I suppose I should talk about is food. I'll tidy this up a little bit and then I'll talk about food. So yeah, food, obviously I haven't included food in this yet. It's mostly going to be a lot of dehydrated meals, noodles, packet soups, hot chocolate. I'll probably end up taking some protein powder, some Huel sort of meal replacement powder. That's quite a good one for extra calories and nutrients, but not too bulky to carry. And there'll be other bits and pieces too, but food's kind of my main concern, I'll be honest, because it's 10 days. But looking at the route, there's three different points that I will be able to buy food, either at a supermarket, or I'll have the chance to actually go in somewhere and buy a meal, and I'm going to take advantage of that as much as I can, because it means I'll be able to carry a little bit less. I will carry sort of enough for probably 6 or 7 days. Some things I'll carry for the 10 days, like breakfast. I'll probably just carry those little, like Oats So Simple packets. So I'll have 10 of them. A pouch of coffee to last me the whole thing. But in terms of dinners and lunches, it can be a little bit more relaxed, because like I say, I know that I'm going to be able to buy stuff on the way. That's about as much detail as I've got on that, I'm afraid. I've still got a bit of thinking to do on that myself. So yeah, the sort of weight I'm looking at minus food is somewhere around 13.5 kilos, which for the type of kit I've got, it's not super expensive lightweight stuff, but obviously the decisions I've made to try and keep it as simple and light as possible, 13.5, yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, like I say, quite happy with it. I'm really looking forward to the trip. I hope I get there. I hope my passport comes. Hopefully this video was useful or interesting. Yes, I know I talk quite quickly. I kind of whistled through it, even though this is probably going to end up being a 30 or 40 minute video. But yeah, any questions at all, leave them in the comments. Any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Like I say, I've got the lighter pack link with all the details of weights and links to the gear. I'll have links in the description about the high coast and where you can buy maps and all that kind of thing, so check that out if you're interested. And hopefully the second video in this little series will be me standing in Sweden. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch the video. The dog's coming in for a little camera. I didn't plan that, by the way. Hey, I'm coming in to say hello. Yeah, he's struggling with the heat. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll hopefully see you on the next video.